Alright guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video. It is that time again. I'm gonna probably do 2 more top 10s, and then I think I'm gonna conclude the series for the start of 2022. I always like to do these in January, of course, because, you know, it's typically slow in January for both Dokkan, YouTube, sort of all that, right? Now, here's the thing, right? I have done a bunch of these now, you know, top 10 LRs, top 10 TURs. They've been very controversial, but I stand by it 100%. I think that those are good lists. I feel like I explained my reasonings for a lot of the placements in those lists very well, right? A lot of people just sort of see the top 10 out of context on Twitter and they're, oh my god! But, like, if you actually listen to what I'm saying, I feel like you can't poke too many holes in my arguments. But this one, this was tough. I actually found this to be much more difficult than, like, top 10 TURs, top 10 LRs, and stuff like that. Because it's like, what we're looking for in these categories, I feel like each player is definitely looking for something different. So it's like kind of what I'm doing here is I'm going with this, right? So the number one factor I want to take in is the strength of the roster, right? So let's use Pure Saiyans as an example. Basically, all of the top units in the game are on Pure Saiyans, right? Like, not actually, but you get what I'm saying. Like, of, I don't know, the top 20 units in the game, like, 15 are Pure Saiyans or something like that. Strength of leader. Now, this is a couple of different factors. There's leaders like Bojack, who are incredible for his team, Space Traveling Warriors, right? The support, he's not really so much of a liability, but power creep, Dude, I don't know. I feel as though a lot of people aren't really truly understanding how insane power creep has been lately. But even a character like Bojack is just, I feel like, nothing next to some of the recent, like, TURs and stuff like that that have dropped, right? So, like, Bojack is good, but, you know, there's factors about it. We'll get to it. We'll talk about it, right? But I think, like, how well they work with the team, how strong they are themselves individually, right? Do they bring the team down, right? Like, historically, Pure Saiyans has probably always had the best roster, but it has had shit leaders. So, like, can you really call it the best category in the game? Probably not, right? Now, of course, it's got a good leader, so it's definitely on this list, right? Now I have this here. This is not, like, a main factor, right? So it's like, I saw a comment here. Yeah, this is exactly the one I was talking about right here from D. Simmons. Talking about Future, right? Future is definitely going to explode and be crazy in the future, right? Vegito Blue, Merge Zamasu, Goku Black, all these characters are definitely getting huge top tier versions in the future. But this is sort of like the third, like, almost like a tie-breaking factor that I'm going to use for some of these categories. I do want to see if they have chances for improvements in the future, but this is not like the very first point I'm going off of, right? It's a very important thing to start with. So, all right, let's just get to it. Wait, let me try and assign. Okay, so it's hard at a glance. Okay, so this is Realm of Gods, Kamehameha, Transformation Boost, Androids. We'll use Jiren for Universal Survival Saga. You're going to be Hybrid Saiyans. You're Boo Saga, Space Traveling Warriors, Goku Family, Vegeta Family, Super Saiyans, Pure Saiyans, Sworn Enemies, Bond of Friendship, Accelerated Battle. We'll do Fate-Induced Battle, and then... Actually, I guess Kid Buu doesn't even need to be... Poor Kid Buu actually doesn't even need to be here. I don't like Kid Buu as a leader too much myself, honestly. I don't like that. Like, a lot of the leads we're picking here are either like full 170% leads or at least 150, right? I do think running these two, Goku Family, Vegeta Family, at a full 150% is definitely still suitable. Although of course we prefer a full 170%. Or at least, I think my personal preference is at least that attack and defense are 150 and above, right? So that's why I like Kid Buu or like Dokkan Fest Trunks and Goten. I'm not a particularly big fan of them having 130% defense. I feel like you can feel that. I really do think so. So, all right, here, we can go ahead and get rid of this. We'll start at number 10. I have Boo Saga at 10. Now, Boo Saga, when I was starting up this list, I was thinking this is going to be like 5 or something like that. But again, I just do feel like power creep has hit this team quite hard. So supports, defensive units, strong units. There's so many factors that come into it. Like Buu Saga potentially could be moved up, right? You do have staples like Tech Ultimate Gohan, who's ridiculous in here. Don't forget about this guy. This guy is so good. And it's like his presence is felt on like of these top 10 teams, his presence is felt dramatically on like all of these teams, right? Like he's so crazy. He is so powerful that I feel like building the teams around him is not a mistake, right? Keep in mind he does have Saiyan lineage, so Tech Ultimate Gohan is sort of like a defensive wall in slot 1, while also still sharing a key link with this guy and this guy in slot 2. Just dominating and decimating is a good way to go about building the Buu Saga team. You have one of the best leaders in the game. The way this unit is aging is actually stunning to me. Even with, again, how crazy power creep has been, I just feel like this unit is still so good in so many different ways, right? The fusion, the damage after fusing, the scouter effect, the defensive ability pre-fuse, the incredible link set. I think that this unit and then the Tech Gogeta, the Goku and Vegeta Angel unit, I think they have the best link sets in the game. Those really matter. I do feel like a lot of the supports in here have aged, though. Like, this guy has aged. I mean, High School Gohan is definitely still solid. He's more of a super class support type unit, though. Like, Android 18 would be incredible here, but it's like, you know, you are forced to then use a Krillin, Goten, Kid Trunks, right? This category is very good, but many of sort of like the mid-level and below options are almost completely dead. I just feel like many of these characters are really not that impressive, right? I don't know. Who's a good example? Even like physical Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, like, I don't know, man. I don't really envision him as like some like major player on this team. I think the Super Vegetos themselves have aged. I'm probably not running AGL Super Vegeto or physical Super Vegeto. It's building this team villain-sided is a bit wonky as well, right? Because again, if you're running, like, this guy's dead. You're not running him. Again, you could do a villain Buu Saga team with Kid Buu as your lead, but I am not really the biggest fan of doing that with his 130% defense. And it's like, you're not really going to mix and match, like, Buu units with, like, Goku and Vegeta's, you know, Ultimate Gohans and shit like that. So, this team is very good. Again, even at 10, like, the teams are really strong. Okay, at number 9, I'm actually going to pull up Vegeta's family here. Now, this is the team, I feel like of all the teams, this team probably has had the biggest improvement this year, right? It's got to be Vegeta family. Because, like, Hybrid Saiyans was still solid with all of its ridiculous buffs. But, dude, Vegeta family, like, you just look at this. Like, so, like, this guy, very controversial, but he's still an amazing unit. You can't argue that he's bad. Bullshit. This is probably the best unit on the category, right? Just disgustingly good. But then, like, dude, you have, like, AGL Trunks. You know, you have, again, GT Vegeta is very good. This guy works so good on this team. You have Super Vegeta. Keep in mind that the Future Trunks characters have gotten, like, how many Future Trunks buffs have we gotten this year? Like, 10 new Future Trunks characters, right? Like, this guy, Easy Aid. This unit is still good, just not in slot 1. When I was looking at the Vegeta family roster, like, I was actually fairly impressed. I feel like in a lot of content, this team will work very well. And again, even though this guy is only giving 150% across the board to Vegeta family, keep in mind that the GT duo, their rainbow orb changing is very good. And that can allow some of these units to work incredibly well. I guess the one thing I would say is, slot 1 certainly can be a bit iffy. Like, Evolution Blue Vegeta certainly can handle it, but, I mean, he can at the same time get absolutely cream-pied. You do have the Revive with both of these characters, which is good. Trunks can be good defensively, but he's got to get attacks in, right? Super Saiyan 3 Trunks can be good defensively, either in a long event or if he gets his guard to proc. But I do actually really like the Vegeta family team. I just think, like, again, power creep with all of these new, like, power crept amazing units like AGL Trunks, Super Vegeta, the Exchange Goku and Vegeta, it's just so powerful. And this team is very cohesive, right? You have nearly a universal link for this entire team with Royal Lineage. Most of the top tier characters on here are going to be running Royal Lineage, right? So I do like Vegeta family at number 9 right there. Okay, next we have Bond of Friendship and Kale and Caulifla. I certainly can't anticipate this is where things are going to start potentially getting controversial for people. But the next couple categories, it's very simple. These are Goku categories. Goku, right? Like if you take any character in the game, right? Goku is the best character. He's got the most versions of all these different characters. And they've released such monstrosities in 2021 that like all of these sort of like Goku centric categories are just dominant. You have UI Goku, Namek Goku, this UI Goku, this LR support Goku, and then do not forget these 3 physical Gokus down here as well. Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 1, and the GT Super Saiyan. So it's like, when you have this core of Gokus, these teams are just ridiculous. I mean, we might as well just fill in. I think it's the next 3 are basically just Goku fill-ins, right? So, okay, so we have Bond of Friendship, and then the next one we have here, this is going to be Accelerated Battle. So let me go ahead and get Accelerated Battle on here. And then the one after this is going to be Goku Family. So we're sort of filling in these 3 categories. And we'll sort of discuss these 3 right now. Because, again, the core of all 3 of these teams is just all these insane Goku units, right? Who are just, like, so good. Like, covering all these situations. I mean, again, with UI Goku and Heart Virus Goku, you have a slot 1 unit for both rotations that are amazing Saiyan characters that are going to be linking well with, again, all of these Saiyans, right? You can get, like, Trunks and Goten in here. You can get, like, all, like, you look at this roster, right? So many of these options you could still just throw in, and you have the point units to really help make this work. You also have, like, Trunks and Goten and stuff like that. Now, the weakness for this, I might have had this higher, but the issue, I think, is Kale and Caulifla. Kale and Caulifla, I mean, they are good, right? I would say they're good. But I'm definitely very underwhelmed with them as a 2021 unit coming right out of the gate, right? Like, immediately at the start, in, like, Super Battle Road stages and stuff like that, this unit can be a little bit unimpressive. They do have a good link set, so that helps, right? They don't, like, necessarily work horribly with their team. But one thing that is an issue for this is Bond of Friendship does not have Kefla on here, right? So it's like, if you fuse with Kale and Caulifla into Kefla, you don't have another Kefla to sort of work with, right? You're like, that Kefla is just going to be by herself, the tech Kefla. So that's something to keep in mind. But even, you know, you do still have all these Caulifla and Kale units. Keep in mind that, you know, again, like, a strength of this unit is how well they work with her and with her, who are both still godly defensive units, right? You guys know how I care way more about defense than offense at this point in the game. It just really seems like characters that are better defensively or more balanced between offense and defense just appear to me to age better, right? So again, Kale and Caulifla is sort of what holds this team back a little bit. But, I mean, at a glance, you should just be able to tell how ridiculous this, like, Goku roster is, right? So that's Bond of Friendship. Next, we have Accelerated Battle. Now, this is a huge step up in terms of leader. I think, like, Hit and God Goku. So, when I was looking at the reception to my top 10 LR list, there's a lot of things that are controversial, right? STR Vegito, some people act like he's bad, which is stupid. Other people act like he's the best unit in the game, which I definitely disagree with. Right, Evolution Blue Vegeta is very controversial. Like, I don't really care about that. You know, oh my god, full power freeze is way better than UI Goku. How can you do that, right? Like, I don't care. Like, those are all, like, points that, like, I think there's good arguments for, right? But I saw people acting like Hit and God Goku I had overrated. You have no idea what you're talking about if you think that this unit is overrated and not, like, a top 5 unit in the game. What the fuck else are you looking for in a unit than them starting out over 200k defense, where they then get 60 defense, they potentially get 50% defense, this is 30% defense, they have 50% chance to stun, they have 50% chance to guard. What are you looking for? What are we evaluating units on? Like, I don't understand. Like, this unit is so good. I am not listening. Anyone trying to act like, oh, I'm trying to poke holes in this unit, you're crazy. You're a madman, dude. Like, are you kidding me? Like, this unit is insane. Like, how about this? UI Goku slot 1, this unit in slot 2. Is that the best rotation in the game? I feel like it's in the discussion. It definitely works. The damage this unit can do while also being one of the best defensive units in the game after they attack, They're ridiculous. And then if we look through Accelerated Battle, again, we have a lot of the same stuff with a lot of these powerful Gokus. Again, the trio of physical Super Saiyan Gokus in here, man. These three are definitely pillars. Like, these guys don't fuck around, all right? So teams that have this core on it is very good. We're just going to add that in there. Now, one thing about Accelerated Battle, too, that I actually do like is some of the villains on here, including Lrb Janemba. Lrb Janemba's another very controversial unit. I mean, him being controversial, I understand, because he certainly struggles for ki and damage at the start, right? And there's a lot of people who are just damage. So, like, I understand why people sort of, like, don't like Janemba or think Janemba's not that good, but I also think at the same time, it's bullshit. Janemba's ridiculous. And you could very easily put Janemba slot 1 and then transforming Frieza slot 2, and that will cook long events. You're good to go at that point, right? Fat Janemba potentially could be an option as well, with Lrb Janemba, right? Like, you know, third form Frieza, of course, is very powerful. The only thing is, I don't think, AGL Frieza's not on here. You only have, so Namek Final Form Frieza. It's weird that Namek Final Form Frieza's on here, but Full Power Frieza's not. Like, that's weird. It's like that's actually just, like, wrong, right? Like, if you're gonna put Final Form Frieza on there, you put Full Power Frieza. Duh. Like, come on. This is a team, too, that certainly, when I look at the potential with Kid Buu, I still think Kid Buu's got an LR coming. And then Rose. Keep in mind that Rose currently has got, like, no good units. And I think we're reaching the point where LR Rose, it doesn't even matter anymore when he gets his, like, great partner that'll help him out. He's past his prime, right? It's too late now. There's a million units that could do what Rose does better at this point now. But, like, this guy's EZA and potential other future Goku Black Rose units, which, guess what? This is a very popular character. It's going to happen. This guy will be able to impact a lot of these teams that he's on, right? Including Accelerated Battle. You could easily build a sort of, like, villain core for this team. I like Accelerated Battle a lot. For real, I do. Especially in conjunction with either Universal Survival Saga, which they also lead, or my favorite, Fate-Induced Battle. Accelerated Battle / Fate-Induced Battle. I'm gonna do one more top 10 probably tomorrow, and it'll be like actual top 10 leader skills. And I think this Goku is probably one. I think I'd have to sit down and look at it and actually spend some time. But this, I mean, when you put Fate-Induced Battle, I don't have on here, but, like, it was definitely, like, sort of, like, in the running to be talked about for sure. Because we have that, and then Goku Family. Now, the problem for Goku Family, I might have even had higher, but I do think that this guy is a bit of a weak point. Now, the GT Dokkan Fest duo, Goku and Vegeta, are both very good. And it's like, if you're on a GT hero team, this guy is incredible. Here, let me actually just pull him up. But this guy is, with GT hero units around, this guy's incredible. He's a game changer. His damage is insane. Rainbow Orb changing. He's even got really good defense. But the issue with this guy is, without GT heroes, he is very mid defensively. He's made of paper mache, right? He gets blasted away. So he actually can be a detriment on the Goku Family team, man. He can. Like, you can cry all you want to, but it is true, right? And it's like, Goku is better than Vegeta on the GT hero team, but Vegeta outside of the GT hero team is better, right? So, like, I'm actually more comfortable running the Vegeta Family team than the Goku Family team, because of Vegeta, I think, being a better unit off of the GT hero team, right? But the Goku Family category is still this. Right? Like, you gotta be drunk to, like, not even get this on here. I feel like even with some of my gripes about Goku, on this team, you potentially could still move this team up. The other thing, too, is I'm not the biggest fan of the other leaders for this team, too. This unit has aged. I mean, in order for them to really look good, you have to be building it around them or give them the support they need. And now it's just that they get all the support they need to just look inferior to more, recent power crept units. And then, I mean, this guy's 3 years old, right? Like, it's like, come on. Like, I I think the GT duo is fine for certain builds, but I actually would like to see Vegeta Family and Goku Family get even new leads again. I would. Especially Goku Family. This guy's fine. Like, he's definitely better than these two. But I would prefer a newer leader for Goku Family. Again, I think I would have Goku Family higher up on the list if not for him sort of bringing the team down a little bit. Now, again, calm down. And people are going crazy, but the orb changing, of course, is ridiculously good, right? Rainbow orb changing is a very broken mechanic. And recently, they've been introducing this bullshit where it's like there's characters that rainbow orb change, but it's only a chance, which sucks, right? Orb changing is like guard, in which I hate that as a mechanic, where there's only a chance. I want that to be... Basically, give it to him guaranteed, or don't fucking give it to him at all. That's how I'm feeling about rainbow orb changing right now. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the top 5. Next, we're going to go with Kamehameha. I think that this team is very, very strong. I mean, obviously, again, many of the same, like, the core of Gokus and stuff like that are all on here. You have a lot of variety in characters and stuff like that. The only thing is, I feel like the villain side of this has never really gotten a chance to take off, right? Like, if you look at it, like, they certainly could introduce a Kid Buu. Like, Kid Buu fires the Kamehameha back at Goku at one point. Like, you could definitely get a Kid Buu, like, and maybe LR Kid Buu will have it. You could pair him with, like, LR Buhan or something like that. But the Kamehameha team right now, you're mostly going to build just Saiyans, right? The thing about this, the reason why I put this above Goku Family, despite the fact that I would say Goku is just flat out better than LR Gohan, right? LR Gohan is not bad, this guy. But, again, he certainly has aged. You know, he's not the juggernaut he once was. But, I mean, it makes sense because it's like we're closing in on 2.5 years since his release, right? It's been a while. Actually, we are right about, what is it, like another month or soon is like 2.5 years exactly for Gohan. So, again, he's been out for a while. But this team has got all the fusions. Now, I've talked about this a lot and why I think that the 7th anniversary should be fusions. It's because all these fusion teams are dead, right? Like, if you look at these fusion characters, besides this unit and this unit, of course, they're incredible. All these other fusion units are just like fodder. Like, this guy sucks. You suck, right? Like, let's just go through them. Like, you suck. You're good. In Super Saiyan 4, Gogeta is good. Physical VB is good. But most of the fusion characters are just not impressive. They're just not, right? So it's like that hurts. But guess what? Fusions are the money makers. They're going to be going back to it. Fusions are going to be getting new characters, right? The 3rd year anniversary LRs potentially, I think, could be getting an easy A. Oh, I'm scrolling down, but this guy and then this guy, like, they could easy A. Like, you have so many options. And the other thing, too, is when we talk about future, like, chances for improvement, Goku Family, Kamehameha, right? Like, there's always going to be these types of characters being released. And again, look, dude, so many of these teams have got this guy. This guy is actually crazy. Again, like, I put androids at 1 on my TUR list because there's just things they do that other characters don't really do. But I think Goku as a top 1 TUR, 100% okay with me. He's too good. He's too good with, like, no weaknesses. Right? Like, and again, I think he's got the best leader skill in the game, and that's why it's like, it's finicky, man. But this Goku he's too ridiculous. He really is. Okay, so there's Kamehameha. Alright, so next, we have Hybrid Saiyans. Now, I was actually a bit surprised, right? I have hybrids a bit lower here than I thought I was. Like once I actually, like put all these categories side by side, I was like, damn, I'm disappointed in myself, but I actually do have hybrids at 4. Now, hybrids, the reason that they are where they are, right, is because every single celebration this year, they got an EZA, they got a Dokkan Fest, they got an LR, they got something. Like, you go through this category. Let's just look at STR, right? You came out this year. You came out this year. So did you. You got an EZA this year. You got an EZA this year. You got an EZA this year, right? Like, you just keep going through it. There's so many buffs all over. You can build this team in a lot of different ways. You have a lot of very strong defensive units. You have a lot of very strong support type units. You can build this team in so many different ways. You even have units like this character right here, which I am not as high on this character as other people are. I could tell by the way people were talking about this unit. It's like when you exchange future Gohan is like actually the best unit in the game or something like that. Like this guy, like after he revives, yeah, he's #1. But it's like you got to get there, and then this unit is just not really too impressive to me. Their damage is pathetic, pitiful. They need 8 orbs. I am not the biggest fan of this part of the unit, right? This really holds this unit back, but they're still very powerful, right? And you have a lot of units like, I love Lrb Pan. I know a lot of people don't like her because her damage is very low, but it's like, she to me is like, she's what Tech Super Boo wanted to be, right? But they gave Tech Super Boo 140k defense at the start of turn, whereas B-Pan has got damage reduction. Now, B-Pan, certainly, if things go wrong, if you don't have some of her strong defensive links active, if you don't have All in the Family, Saiyan Lineage, GT, Shattering Limit, a bunch of these links that can give her defense, B-Pan certainly can take a lot of damage, but I just love all the utility. She's got the stunning, the early supering, the healing, the damage reduction, the active skill, the link set that works well with the team, right? There's just a lot of like units in here that work really well. I love this AGL Kid Gohan. I like him more than most people do. Again, AGL Trunks might actually be the most underrated unit in the game. Because like, remember that it feels like my audience, I don't know, maybe 99% of them are global players. I don't know, that's what it feels like, right? So I know a lot of times for global players, it could certainly be difficult to evaluate some of these units until you get your hands on them, right? Now, again, a monstrosity like Super Saiyan 2/3 Goku, like, yeah, dude, a raccoon can see how good this Goku is, right? Like, yeah, whatever. But like, Trunks, I feel like Trunks is a character, it's like, once you use him, like, you'll see. When Trunks releases on Global, I feel like a lot of Global players are going to be like, oh my god, this guy is crazy, right? Like, I feel like that's what's going to happen. And it's like, there's units like him, units like this unit. Again, I'm not as big a fan as this one as some other people I've seen, but they're still good. I do like hybrids a lot. And the thing about the hybrid Saiyan team, I mean, dude, he's like the most controversial unit ever I don't understand why, but he is. This guy, I love him as a lead. Like, a lot of people would argue that he is a detriment to the team. I see that constantly. I see a lot of people saying like, oh yeah, hybrids would be great if they had a better leader. But to me, it's the other way around. You run the hybrid team, you have 2 of this guy, and it's like you're invincible. You can't take damage. Like this guy's ridiculous. He's insane, right? So it's like, I don't know. I like hybrids within the top 5. Even over, again, some of these more like sort of like Goku-centric builds. I think hybrids is just crazy. We can also bring up the chances for future improvement. We already know, as of right now, it looks like Gohan is going to be the main character of the movie coming up, Dragon Ball Super Superhero. If that's true, and if we get some sort of new Gohan form, unless they God Trunks him, right? Like, hybrids is going to be getting even more buffs. It's just a team that never stops getting, like, that's the thing about Goku Family, Hybrid Saiyan, Pure Saiyan, these teams are always going to be getting buffed. It's just always going to happen. Okay, so we have Hybrid Saiyans there. Next at number 3, we have Universal Survival Saga. Now, I actually was ready to potentially have this, like, lower, right? Like, I was ready. By the way, so Reps of Universe 7, we potentially could have gotten on here, but, I mean, it's basically just Universal Survival Saga Light, right? Like, it's the same thing, just without a lot of the other options, like Hit and God Goku, who are like must runs. Hit and God Goku is a must run unit, right? Like you have to, this unit releasing is definitely a huge reason why I have this team as high up as I do, right? I gave this guy Accelerated Battle. I mean, I guess I could switch. I mean, I don't have Fate in, okay, hold on. I'm actually going to do this. Let me put you up there. Let me actually remove Jiren. When did Jiren come out? He's right there. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to change it to be this. Okay. So this is Universal Survival Saga. Remember, this is Accelerated Battle, right? Just because this when you fuckers screenshot this and put it on Twitter, it looks better like that. It looks better like this. So, anyway, man. Okay. So, Universal Survival Saga. I don't need to talk too much about this, right? Like, you just have ridiculous top tier options. A lot of these characters, UI Goku, Jiren, Kale and Khalif are still good. It's insane. Goku and Frieza they're probably, in terms of, like, how good is a character compared to how often they get talked about, I think Goku and Frieza is probably the number one unit for like, they're so good, but no one ever talks about them ever. Literally ever. Like, I don't see arguments about this unit. I don't see people discussing this unit literally anywhere. And it's like, they are still very good. I'm not really like the biggest fan of the way you have to build teams, stuff like that, to utilize them, especially after the link level update. But I mean, they're stupidly good, right? Like, there's no way. I think both this unit and STR Broly would have been on my top 10 LRs had I counted easy LRs, I think. Okay, but yeah, I don't need to spend a lot of time here. Now, the one thing about this team compared to all the other teams around it, future growth is going to hold this one back. There is a limitation to them buffing this team. The TOP is always going to be super hyped. They're always going to be going back to it. But this team is not going to get buffs as often as hybrids, pure Saiyans, Goku Family, all those teams, right? Now, number 2 is Super Saiyans. Super Saiyans? Dude, I'm going to tell y'all right now, I was so close to putting Super Saiyans above pure. I seriously was. I was right about to put Super Saiyans as the number 1 team in the game, man. I'm dead ass. Super Saiyans? So, like, you know how I talked about the buffs for Hybrid Saiyans this year? Super Saiyans is the same thing, right? All of these Trunkses that got buffed are, like, all on Super Saiyans. You got Namek Goku, who I don't like the argument for Namek Goku as best unit in the game myself. I think Namek Goku is too unimpressive turn 1 compared to Full Power Frieza and UI Goku to say he's the best unit in the game. But he's certainly in, like if you were to separate units, not by like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, but like, you know, Z, triple S, double SS, A tier, B tier, this guy's definitely in the highest tier, right? Like, I don't think UI Goku and Frieza are like a tier above him, but I do think they're better than him. So like him as a leader on this team, he cooks. You have these two who are, again, I think they have the best link sets in the game. So like, you know, this is like your core right here. And like, you just do whatever else you want. And you go through, you know, they got Trunks, STR Super Vegeta's on the team. They got Int Kabe, dude. Like, you just go through, like, a lot of these buffs that this team got's ridiculous. Heart Virus Goku, right? You can build this Super Saiyan team in a lot of ways. And again, if we look at future improvements, we're definitely getting big time Brolys in the future. We're definitely getting like Super Saiyan characters are going to be continuing to flood the game, right? So the Super Saiyan category, I think, is very impressive. Again, I wanted to put this at 1, but I think that the sheer roster of pure Saiyans it's just undeniable. Every Goku, Vegeta, Broly, Bardock, it's too much. Now that they have a top tier leader, like a leader who's within, you know, top 15, top 20 units in the game or something like that, I just think that the pure Saiyan team is undeniable. So here we go. Here is the top 10. So again, we have Buu Saga, Vegeta Family, Bond of Friendship, Accelerated Battle, Goku Family, Kamehameha, Hybrid Saiyan, Universal Survival Saga, Super Saiyan, and then Pure Saiyan. I like this. Realm of Gods is good, but it's like they got all these buffs in January, and then for most of the year, they got almost nothing, right? So it's like I think a lot of the Realm of Gods options are power crept. I do. Cooler for transformation boost. No offense. Cooler, I think, is still good, but dude, running double Cooler, I'm good. I'm good, man. I'm sorry. I mean, I think you could probably get transformation boosts on here. You could maybe say they're better than like Buu Saga, Bond of Friendship, Vegeta Family, or something like that. Sure. If they had a newer leader, yeah. Because I think right now, I would probably say Transformation Boost is the best villain team in the game. Especially because, I mean, they just got like Janembu and Baby Janembu and stuff like that, right? But I think Cooler, to me, holds this team back a little bit too much. Androids, same thing. Androids doesn't have a leader right now. Android 13, the core of the Android team is the Tech Dokkan Fest Androids, 19 and 20, the AGL LR Androids EZA, AGL 17, INT 17, None of them have big bad bosses, which really hurts Android 13. The Android team needs a new lead. The leader is holding the Android team back. Jiren, I guess, doesn't even need to be here at all, because I was originally just going to have him represent Universal Rival Sagas. He's just representing nothing. Bojack as Space Traveling Warriors is definitely good enough to be represented here. I feel like you could probably put Space Traveling Warriors... I don't know if I'd put them... Again, I think Kale and Khalifa is again, a weakness for this team. But these Goku-centric rosters, I think I do like better than, like, Space Traveling Warriors. I mean, this would change if, like, Turles... AGL Turles gets ZZA, and a lot of things in the game are going to change. A lot of things are going to change, right? Because, again, LR Turles is a unit that I think is really overrated by a lot of people right now. But at the same time, I think he is as good as these people say. It's just Turles needs another Turles to get there. I actually think LR Turles is aging very good. I do. It's just that he needs a Turles, right? It's like when AGL Turles gets his EZA, I'm going to be right there leading the LR Turles fan club. Like, he's going to be sick, right? Like, his defense is like 300k. Like, if AGL Turles is giving defensive support... Like, again, I've seen LR Turles sitting at, like, 300k defense already, right? With all those powerful links activated and shit like that. So, again, keep in mind, LR Turles is probably going to be one of the best aging units in the game's history or something like that, along with, like, LR Bojack. I think they're in similar situations. Except LR Turles also supports, right? It's just he needs his Turles to come first before he's really doing all that. We have full power Frieza here for Sworn Enemy. But I was looking at Sworn Enemy, and it's like they just need, like, Cell is pretty much dead in the game right now. I'm sorry. In LR Cell, like he's not horrible, but, like, there's, like, pretty much no good cells, right? Kid Buu needs the LR still. We need, like, STR Subaru ZZA. Sworn Enemy can definitely get there, but it just needs, it does need a little bit of help. That third form Frieza, and full power Frieza dominate for sure, though. And then we have STR Kid Buu, who I guess also is not really representing anything. I didn't really need to put him on here. So there we go. There's top 10 categories. Looking at it, I feel good with it. Yeah, because again, Goku Family could have been higher, but this guy holds it back a little bit for me. Yeah, I do like this. I'm okay with how this looks. So, let me know how stupid I am. Let me know how dumb I am. I'm the worst Dokkan player ever. Blah, 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 blah. Feel free, tweet me all day. Let me know how stupid I am in the comment section. Y'all know me. You go to town, man. Whatever. No matter what y'all say, I stand by this. I stand by the top 10 TUR. I stand by the top 10 LR. Say whatever you want to. Be mad at me. I stand by it.